In this video, we are going to go over how to translate a sentence that involves two operations into algebraic expressions. Let's dive right into it. So in letter A right here, after we read the directions, it says write an algebraic expression. It says the sum of 14 and twice a number x. So our goal is to take a sentence and rewrite it into an algebraic expression. It's the whole goal of math, right? Is to take big ideas that are presented in words and now present them with, well, way less, right? Symbols and numbers. It's beautiful. So the sum means that we are going to be adding. So we are going to be adding, and I like to put a little plus sign, this and. So let's start with 14. Translate as you read. So you've got 14 and, or plus, that's from the sum of that, and twice a number x. Well, that's the same as saying 2 times x, twice a number x. And there we have it. There's our algebraic expression. Translate as you go, and you're in great shape. All right, into the next one. The difference of 5.7 and the quotient of a number y and 11. Okay, so the difference means we are going to be subtracting, and we're going to go in order of how we are reading this. So we're going to take the difference of that, 5.7, and, so there's the difference part, the quotient of, well, the quotient means we are now going to be dividing some number y and 11. Again, going in the order of how we're dividing. I like to write the quotient as a fraction, so the quotient of y and 11. So the difference of 5.7 and the quotient of y over 11. You could also have written it as 5.7 minus y divided by 11 and use like a typical division sign. That would have been perfectly cool. Awesome. All right, letter C. 22 less than the product of 62 and a number u. As we've seen in a previous video, when we have something less than another number, the order of those words should switch in our numerical sentence. And that makes sense by, and I'll just review this idea, thinking of 4 less than 9. Well, that would be 5, right? A number that is 4 less than 9 would be 9 minus 4. It reverses everything. So 22 less than the product. So I'm going to start out with minus 22, because we're taking that away from the product of 62 and u. Product means multiplication, so the product of 62 and u, minus 22. Again, the key here, piece together each problem part by part as you read. I like to call that translating as you go. The product of 8, so we're going to be multiplying 8, and the sum of a number h and 10. So we're multiplying 8 by an entire sum, which means we need to group this sum, right? Because we're multiplying 8 by a sum, not just 8 by h or 8 by 10, 8 by h plus 10. And that's why we are going to group everything with parentheses. So again, the product 8 times the sum of some numbers, h plus 10. That's all there is, peeps, for translating from words to numbers. On the flip side of this video, I'm going to give you a very short but valuable reintroduction into how to go the other direction. Given an expression, translate into words. See you on the flip side. And here we are on the flip side of the video where we are going to be taking algebraic expressions and just saying out loud what their word counterparts are. So what do I mean by that? Let's see. The instructions say translate each expression into words. So let's start with 3 times m, or 3m. Now I know that stating it out loud you could say 3m, but to be a little more formal about it, we would say the product of 3 and m, right? The product of 3 and m. A little less formal, 3 times m. Here we have an expression, we could say the difference of 22, right, the difference from subtraction, the difference of 22 and x. You could also say x less than 22, if you want to get really fancy. You could also say 22 minus x, of course. Here we have 13 plus 2t, we could state it that way. You could also say the sum of 13 and twice a number t, or 13 plus 2 times t, right? There's a whole bunch of different ways you could put that. All right, here we have, well, a difference. So we have the difference of the quotient of s and 13 and 5.43. You could also say 5.43 less than s divided by 13, or 5.43 less than the quotient of s and 13. And I got one more for you. Let's say that I do negative 7 times, let's do x plus 3. Here you would have the product of negative 7 and the sum of x plus 3. Or a lot of people say it this way, negative 7 times the quantity x plus 3. When you say the quantity, it means that you've separated x plus 3 off and grouped it. So it's being multiplied, divided, whatever the operation is, by whatever the number was that you stated before or after it. So again, the product of negative 7 and the quantity x plus 3. That's it, peeps. Going in reverse. Hope this video of translations proves helpful for you in your math class.